things that the operators and everybody will have access to. One is the alarms. If you guys are getting a lot of alarms and you call me up, I'm going to want to know what those alarms are. So you get to that by menu, the alarms, it'll bring up the list. Next one is manual. So from here you can operate any pump manually through the gun. If you get a giant air pocket in the system, or you just want to pump out material through the gun, you can. Just choose which material you want. A, which is top coat, B, catalyst, A flush, which is water, or B flush, which is MEK. Push the button, hit that, and it'll push material out through the gun. We're not going to do that. That's what it is. Push that. When you're done, shut it off. Next one is going to be your fill. This will show you what is in each tank. We have two tanks. We have the top coat tank, tank 1. We have it set at 50 gallons because anything really over 50, you could go 53. The 50-gallon fills with the agitation is probably the best. I don't know, when you guys start getting drums in, are they going to be 50, 53, 55?
They call them 55, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a 55-gallon drum. Nobody that I know of really fills at 55. It's usually 50 or 53. But if it ends up being 53 when you change over to drums, I'll get with Fred, give him the code to get in to make that change. So, whenever you do fill up or put a new drum, you'll want to reset that level. If you press that, it'll reset it. Another way to get to this is on the main screen, and it'll actually show you both A and B. If you press on that, you can also do the refill from there. Same thing with this one. That's basically all you're going to have on this touch screen.
Can you come back to the other screen?
Can you?
When you have the two plans?
That one? Yeah.
Here is a month is how we started, right? Right now
that's the current levels. Yeah. Now these numbers are going to be skewed because we purged everything out manually. So we probably shot out more top coat than catalyst because it's so thick and everything. So once you get a good fill or refill, reset those middle. So keep on getting traction. That's basically it for the PLC. Here you can choose which guns. You can shut off a gun if you want. So if you only wanted to spray one gun, shut the other one off. It'll only go through one. These are the three main buttons here. So we have start, stop, and flush. This is a recipe button, but you only have one recipe for top coat only. This is where all the magic happens, all the valves. You have your A valve, your B valve, also your A flush and your B flush. Two filters here. So all the material goes in to this valve right here, and this valve sends everything down to mixes. This is where all the mixing happens, in here. That little tube inside of there is a pigtail or corkscrew type plastic material, which will mix the material millions of times before it comes out of the gun. So you don't have that 10-minute wait time that you do when you're hot potting. This is a gun splitter, gun 1, gun 2, where you can move.
These guns, they have the guard for set out. For set out the pressure.
This is for the atomizer, yeah.
That is for one gun.
That's for one gun.
For the second is?
That's for the second gun. Okay. Those two are atomizing air regulators. So when you pull the trigger, you get that air. That's what those are. This is the fluid regulator. This will maintain a constant fluid pressure to each gun. So each gun is spraying the same. Yeah.
You don't have to touch this. It's already set.
It's already set. Yeah, we have all the pressures already set. As long as the pressure's on the pump, where they're supposed to be, everything is set. So this is the main air. This is what feeds all the air to this. This has to be at 100 psi. The valves require 87 to 90 psi to open and close properly. If we don't have that air pressure, these valves don't actuate. Yeah, it's not going to work.
Only you're going to move these two.
Yeah, I wouldn't even move them. They're set.
Ah, it's already set.
Yeah, they're set. You can adjust them if you want, but there's no need to. The reason why is we want the least amount of atomizing air as possible. We've already tested it, and this is optimized for what this coating is. So we come in the morning, we got power to this. Now we're going to come over and turn on the pump. The reason why we turn down all the air and shut the pumps off at night is we don't want to leave them on. In case a hose blows or something, it's going to pump out all that material at night. You're going to come in the morning, it's going to be a big mess. Yeah. Another reason why we zero this out instead of just chilling the air to the pump, when you come in the morning and you turn that pump air on, if this is set at pressure, that pump's going to hard strip. It's going to slam. It's going to prematurely wear out the seals and everything that are inside. So always make sure at the end of the day, you turn that to zero, put that handle up.
And now you say you have a flush, that flush what?
This is your main flush. So this is going to flush out like
Another flush over there, right?
this is the main flush, water flush. This is going to flush out the lines with the catalyzed material. So at the end of the day, you'll flush out each gun using this pump. That flush pump down there is only for the B side. It's only for the catalyst side. We're not going to flush out every day. We'll probably flush the valve out maybe once every 2 to 3 weeks. So we did a test last night to make sure we did a B flush to make sure that it wouldn't cause any problems the next morning. So good. The problem with using solvent and that catalyst, any type of moisture gets in there, it starts to take over and crystallize and harden. So that's why the MEK, and that's why we're not going to flush those things. We don't want to cause any problems with the catalyst. So least amount of flushing we do on the B side, the better. But it will get flushed every once in a while just to clean it out, make sure that nothing's sticky. All the pumps have been labeled with the pressure that they need to be set at. Turn that on, set to 750. We just do the same thing. All the way down. This regulator right here is running the drum elevator and agitator, so do that and don't ever turn that one off. You always want your material mixed. So the catalyst pump is a little bit different. So for the catalyst to inject properly, we need at least 10% difference between this material and this material. So this pump gets set at 55. It has to be higher for the injection purpose.
You say different, you're talking about pressure.
Pressure, yeah. Minimum 10% difference. That's at 55. This one I'm not even going to turn on because we're not going to do a B flush. So once we have all of our pumps on, and our material is getting agitated, then we can go over to the unit, hit the start button, this is going to do is it's going to count down. So we've got B injection, it's going to do A injection, then it's going to switch over to gun 1 and gun 2. Fill the line. We'll need that other gun. We cut out extra gun? 2. Two guns. So, at this point, trigger the gun, strong gun. And you'll see the line start moving. Oh, what do we got here? That's good. Need a screwdriver. So, this error code is for the stroke sensor. What happened is, this is the stroke sensor. This tells the machine how many strokes, and that's how it knows how much material is being used. So there's a magnet in here. And you can feel it with the screwdriver. So when it gets back or the pump moves too fast, it will lose the stroke sensor. You just have to replace it. Move it up and pump it down a little bit. Tighten it up a little bit. So we've reset the alarm. And we hit start again. When you're filling the line, don't trigger the gun all the way back. Try to pull it back about halfway because the amount of material that's coming up is going to make that pump stroke really fast and you're going to end up losing the sensor. So right now the water is filled with line, or the line is filled with water from the night before. So what this is going to do, get there. What this is going to do is this is going to push the water out and push in catalyzed material to this gun. By the time it's done, we'll have good. When this screen gets to that point, we're going to have good catalyzed material ready to spray.
You have to barely squeeze it the whole time, or once it gets going, you open it up.
The whole time. When you're filling, the whole time. So, once it's got good material, it'll stop. And then you do the second gun.
Barely squeeze it when you're flushing it too?
No, not on the flush. The flush uses a different sensor. There are atomizing air kicks on. When you're filling or flushing, unit will automatically kick off the atomizing air so you don't get all that blowback. So once you get atomizing air, that's done, ready to go. At this point, put in your tip and air cap. These are the tips. They sit right inside the air cap. You have to make sure that that seal is in there, otherwise it's going to squirt material out of the air cap and not the tip.
People, when they spray the slab, they have to clean it with a brush, the same like a old one system.
I would do it exactly how they've been doing that, because you'll get buildup on here. So they may not have to do it every door like they're doing right now, but if that's what they're doing, they have time to do it. Might as well. So at this point, ready to spray on both guns. I'm going to leave that one on since we're not going to spray. So that's loading of the system. Any questions on that one? No? Alright. So what that means is for every 1 pound of air put into the unit, you get 18 foot-pounds of pressure out. So if I set this pump at 10, I got 180 foot-pounds of material coming out of it. Cup at the bottom, there's a lubricant in there, and that needs to be maintained. They need to keep an eye on it. I've already explained this to Fred. What this does is keep material from building up on this piston and wearing out your seals. What happens is the material starts building up on there because that fluid isn't in there. The seal will start to expand, and then your pump will just stroke without pulling material.
What is that lubricant?
It's a throat seal. Throat seal, Wagner calls it methanol. Yeah. You guys have a lot of it. Oh, you have plenty of it. Okay. Yeah. Each pump comes with a bottle, and then there was an extra casing in it as well.
Oh, plus we use this every week or
I check it every week. Yeah. They might even be able to go every 2 weeks, but right now I told them check it once a week and then adjust the time from there. And that goes the same with the filters. Start off every 3 days. If they're bad, then you might have to go 2 days. If not, go a week. But at least once a week. Each pump has a fluid regulator, just like the air goes. We need to set the pumps at a certain pressure to operate correctly. From there, we can dial down the pressure with these fluid regulators. This is what they call the combo release valve. And if you, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a spray gun there. The spray gun is sending material out to this unit. If I turn it, there's 2 arrows that make a circle. What that does is you're able to push material through that valve. So if you're changing out material, say I take this out, changing out material, all that water draining out is creating an air pocket. So to get rid of that air pocket, you can hear the pump. That's pushing out the air pocket that we just put in. So now there's no more air. If there's air and it's not burst out through here, it's going to come into here and it's going to throw all kinds of air flow. So, important to purge out the air pocket. If it does get in here, it's not a problem. It's just going to air out a lot. It's going to have to reset it. Right, reset, later reset. Your catalyst and top coat pump have the same valve, but there's a filter in here. So it's the material's going through, it's being filtered through here before it gets to this. Those will be checked every 3 days to start, and then most likely once a week. All these are stainless steel, so they can go into the new ultrasonic cleaner that we brought in and set up. 20-minute cycle, rinse them off, and you have spares. So yeah, each pump is the same ratio, same regulators, filters on A and B, tugging on the flush pump for the regulator. What else? Stroke sensor. The flush pump stroke sensor is different. It's pneumatic. So it plugs into the bottom of the pump here and it's reading the air. That's why if it's not at a certain pressure, it's not going to read on here. It's going to show a 0 for pushing material even though you've got material going. So very important that the pumps are set at the right pressure so everything gets Any questions on this?
We are in whiteout, and every once in a while, something will happen around here and we'll lose power. What is the process for?
Yeah, I've talked to Fred about this a bit. So to flush out the system, you've got to open up, you've got to put air, you'll have plenty of air left if the power goes out. He needs to open up, put air to this valve and this valve. Actually, it's going to be this back valve. This will open up the flush. This one will send it out to the gun. So as long as there's enough air where you can put air to open up those two valves, you'll be able to flush out. Yeah.
Sounds like it's an emergency.
Yeah. Power outage. You know, if it doesn't. Right now you have 100-minute hot light. As you can see, the timer will keep going down. Once we start actually spraying material and get enough material, that time will come back up. So it's only the timer for catalyzed material to the gun. Once it gets fresh material, then it pipes back up and resets. So, and this is very important to keep an eye on this. It'll throw an alarm once it gets down to a certain point, and they can't spray. Turn red, I'll have to do a flush. So it's all timed.
What exactly is pot light?
So pot light is when your catalyst is put into your A material. That's how much time you have to use it. Yeah, Axo couldn't give me a specific time, they gave me a range. Talking to everybody here, they're like, well, we've seen this stuff tick over in 30 minutes in the hot, humid days. So we set it at 100 minutes, an hour, 40 minutes, should be fine. Even on hot days, because it's not in a tank, it's just in the line. If you do see a problem, we can change the time, drop it down, or they can just do a flush when they feel they need to. And they'll know when the material starts getting thick in the line by the way it's coming out of the gun. It'll start spinning more. It won't come out as fine.
It's in the line.
Right.
Not visible.
Correct. So from this point out to each gun. Okay. We'll go over the agitator. So this is all pneumatic. Everything's pneumatic. There's a joystick over here. All the way up, turns the agitator on. Put it in the middle, shuts the agitator off. If I go all the way down, watch the middle. It'll lift up the lid. So, if you were refilling and they were spraying and this was like this, what it would do is pull all the material that's left in the line and create an air pocket. So if you're going to refill while they're spraying, it's got to be done from the top. Take out the duct pivot. This pivot. So when they're replacing a drum, they can pivot this out of the way. Like you said, actually have the filter down there now telling me that that rock dog might need to be cleaned once in a while. You'll know it's not getting material. Yeah. It's not getting enough A, it'll give an alarm, A minus. It's not that big. That would be one of the first things I would have to check. That rock screen. Sounds like he's going to take care of all of this. He's got all the manuals and everything. That's it for this elevator. It's pretty simple. Small piston screen. This is your catalyst tank. This is a hermetic tank. So it's totally sealed. There's a desiccant dryer over here because the tank has to pull in air. Otherwise, the pump's stroking, there's no air coming in, this is going to collapse. So to keep all the moisture out, desiccant close. There's a gauge on this side, color gauge, tells you when it needs to be changed out. It'll go from this orange to purple to green. Once it's green, it's not accepting anymore.
Shut these cards off.
Shut the light. You don't have to work with it. When it comes in, when a new one comes in, there'll be a cap on the top, a plastic cap, and then there'll be a plastic cap on the bottom here. You have to remove the one on the inside here. This is the given that you have to put it back on here. But you have to remove this one, otherwise you're not going to get any pattern with no air. This cup, you have to put the lubricant that's used in the pump into this cup, which is fill line. So they need to keep an eye on this as well. This just helps catch any moisture or anything before it goes up. There's a glass tube here for visual on how much material is in there. It's like an old hot rod gas tank. Just in case of anything you guys want to flush out this pump, there's a ball valve on the bottom. So that way you can shut it off, disconnect the line, bring it in whenever it's needed. Most likely they need it. That'll happen probably once 6 to 8 months. Clean out the pump really good. These, do not over tighten these, that'll crack the plastic. Just hand tight, don't put a wrench or anything on it. Catalyst goes in there. Stainless steel tank. typically once a year with the PM. That's a service that we can do. Or if your maintenance guys are comfortable, this stuff's pretty easy to rebuild, go through. So, the chances are PM or rebuild is going to be in a fluid section, not into your motor. All my years of finish taking deep into coating and creating equipment, I've probably rebuilt 3 air motors in 40 years. So, pretty good. Pretty rare. Mostly from here down when you rebuild the pump. So now we can go through shutdown process and that'll be it. However, we hit the stop button, then we do flush. We're only flushing in with water only through this pump. We need to do one gun at a time. So we'll grab gun number 1. This one's still here. That one. Anyways, we need to flush them both. You can pull the trigger on both guns, but it's not going to be enough. So, I'm going to do one and then go through another flush sequence and do the other. This way we know we've got good clean lines and nothing's going to happen overnight or over the weekend. So our waste is only going to be, I think it's on this gun, it's going to be like 400 cc's, and on this one, it's got a longer hose, I think it's like 550 cc's. So in total, you're wasting about 900 to 1,000 cc's of material instead of gallons. Yeah. See, we're already in the water. Take our air cap and tip. It's got material inside of the tip. We can put it back on and finish. That way we're blowing out whatever's in the tip before we put it into the open concentrator. Stop the atomizing air back on. Then we're going to go into flush again. now our system's flushed out. We're done for the day. We'll take the air caps and tips off, put them in the ultrasonic cleaner, run them for a cycle, come in the next morning, pull them out, rinse them off with water. They're good as new. Shut off the power. Turn pump down to 0.
Always this has to be like this. Always.
When it's on, this is on. That shuts the air off completely.
Ah, okay.
Zero. You're on. Done.
Easy peasy.
Right? Not a whole lot to it. Real easy.